Emily was my firstborn. She came to me in 1999, and she has been definitely a challenge at times.
Well, I love to watch Netflix and eat food. It's my main thing to do. But I also love to play soccer and swim.
She was diagnosed with epilepsy in 2006, but I kind of knew something wasn't right with her when she was little.
Carly Jo was born February 12, 2011. Amy called me and said that Carly had a seizure, and I came home right away, and that started the testing. And it was February 22nd of 2012 that she got her diagnosis of CDKL5.
When she was in the first grade, I told her to go find her calendar, and she had gone into my bedroom, and I heard her little sister saying, "Emily, Emily." I thought they were playing.
My sister was the very first one to find me, and she was trying to wake me up to play, and I was not responding.
I knew something was really wrong because she was bleeding from her mouth. I grabbed her, yelled at my husband to call 911. She couldn't even say my name. She couldn't respond to any questions for several hours.
I had no idea what happened. I just knew I woke up in the hospital.
There is about 50,000 new patients diagnosed annually with epilepsy. The majority of patients are controlled with medication, but about 30% are resistant or refractory to multiple different medications that are tried and can be very debilitating.
The first drug Carly was put on was phenobarbital. It's a nasty drug, something that we did more research on, and we knew we didn't want our daughter on it.
She was on Trileptal, Depakote, Lamictal, Keppra, Zonegran.
We've tried Klonopin, Valium, Topamax, and she's also taken Vimpat.
The Trileptal gave her a rash. I think the Lamictal honestly made her seizures worse. Depakote made her a zombie. She had no quality of life.
It's very hard to watch your child have a seizure because you know there's nothing you can do about it.
After you tell somebody you have epilepsy, they'll act different around you, or they just don't talk to you anymore. And it hurts. Yeah, 8th grade.
In 8th grade, you tried to commit suicide, is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
What did you do?
Try to jump out that window up there.
Why did you try to jump out of the window?
Because I just felt like I wasn't wanted.
Do you think of epilepsy as a type of punishment or a blessing?
Punishment.
What the doctors are trying to do is throw everything in the kitchen sink at these seizures, and that's where we were. And she was 8 weeks old. So we set out trying to find something that would at least help her seizures, and that's what led us to Sanjay Gupta's documentary about CBD oil. I really just looked at my daughter and said, you know, we're going to get that for her and let her try it.
CBD is a compound that comes from the cannabis plant. It stands for cannabidiol. It's one of the compounds that they have studied and may have therapeutic purposes for patients with epilepsy. It's not going to cause any psychotropic effect or, in lay terms, make the children high.
What people normally smoke is the bud form of marijuana, so it's the flowering part. And then THC is the component of marijuana. That's what actually gets you high.
I don't understand why my child can't take it, but they're going to give her things that will mess up her reproductive system. They'll give her things that slow down her processing speed. They'll give her things that make her lose weight, and she's already underweight. But they won't give her something because it's made from a plant that's questionable.
Schedule 1 drugs means it's really, really, really hard to do governmental research or FDA research, like looking at it as a possible drug for medicinal purposes. Funny enough, cocaine is not a Schedule 1 drug, it's a Schedule 2 drug. And so by having, this drug that actually would be relatively without very many negative effects on the person taking it, and instead they're taking things like Ambien or Klonopin or, a whole slew of other psychoactives that are actually far, far more dangerous.
We were just trying to give Alabamians a different option to control seizures. We sat down in an office in Montgomery and we literally wrote the first draft of Carly's Law. As soon as we started talking to legislators about it and seeing what they felt, we were feeling some resistance. The blowback that we always got was, well, there's not enough studies letting us know that this is safe for kids. Well, and what I'll come back to them with is my daughter's on Vimpat right now, and its indication is for 17 years of age or older. Well, my daughter's 4, and she's on it at her doctor's discretion because he thinks the risk reward is in her benefit. So then that brings up the argument for me. If there's no studies showing the safety of that, then we need to get past this hang up about CBD oil. Let's let the doctors look at it, and if the risk reward is in the patient's favor, then they need to be able to take it. We had to go back to the drawing board 3 or 4 times to try to get it right and get who we could help. So we held a public rally and tried to get support. And that's really when things started to turn a little bit more positive for us.
Senate Bill 174, which is also known as Carly's Law, finally gets the signature of the governor. The legislation will allow a study at the University of Alabama to examine the effectiveness of marijuana oil to treat seizure disorders like epilepsy. The law will become effective June 1st of 2014.
It's very exciting for Alabama. It's really wonderful that patients that suffer with epilepsy every day have access to this. That's a very important thing.
If anything happened, it would be devastating to know that I didn't do everything I could.
You laughing, Sissy? You laughing, Sissy?